Welcome to my video, how to create a 3D block in SketchUp. The SketchUp icon looks like this here. You need to click this to launch SketchUp. Once you've clicked on Google SketchUp, you'll need to wait for it to load fully. You may get a pop-up message asking you to update to the latest version. Please select Ignore Update. Once Google SketchUp has launched, you may need to select a template. This will be a window that looks similar but not exactly the same as the one on your screen now. Scroll to the bottom and select Make a Bot in millimeters and then click OK. This is the MakerBot Replicator 2x. We can orbit around this MakerBot box by clicking the Orbit tool. If we click and hold and drag, we can rotate this box around and look underneath it. The Orbit tool allows us to have a look and move our object around in that 3D space. However, we do not need the 3D replicator box. So if we go to our select tool, which is up here, click on that, we come down and we click and hold and drag a rectangle around the replicator box. So we select it. We'll know it's selected because the lines all turn blue. And we can get rid of this box by pressing the delete key on our keyboard. There you go, and it's gone. Now, you can see these lines. There's a green line, a red line, which goes that way, a green line that goes that way, and a blue line that goes up and down. These are our axes. Where they meet is called the origin point. That is our main point where we will start our drawing from. Well, the first line we're going to draw will be along that red axis. So we go up and select our pencil tool. Click on that little arrow next to the pencil tool. You can see there's the line tool and there's the freehand. At this moment we want to go with the line tool. So we select that, we bring our pencil down to the origin point. We wait for it to actually say origin and we click. We click and release without moving our mouse. It's very important that we don't move our mouse while we do the click. Now as we move our pencil out, you can see there's a line that runs from that origin point where we clicked to the end of our pencil. We move our pencil onto the red line and you can see down in this corner there's a measurement. It actually says how far our line is. Now we want to move our pencil onto the red line and then type in our number. We will type in 50 and hit the enter key. That's 50 and press enter. Once we have done that, you can see our pencil is still attached to the end of that line where there is a green dot. If we move the pencil, that line moves too. Now we want to draw along the green axes so that we move our pencil until our line turns green. If we move it to a certain place, you'll see it'll turn blue. If we move it further around, it will turn green. We do not want blue. We keep going. We move it because blue is vertical. We don't want vertical. We want along the green axes. So see how that line is now green? And I will type in 40 and hit enter and the line will appear 40 millimeters long. Now if our line is still attached to our pencil, so if we bring it back to that green line on the axes, or we can bring it past, make sure that it's red in color, type 50 and hit enter. We can do either click on the green line or go past the green line so that the line is red, type 50, hit enter. Now our pencil's still attached. We go back to our origin point, and it will now say end point because it's the end of that other line, and we click on that. When we click on that, we will see that the rectangle that we've drawn will change colour and it goes grey. This is how we know that it is a closed box. Now it's very important, because if it doesn't change colour, we've made a mistake somewhere and we need to go back. Now we can use the scroll wheel on our mouse to zoom in and out. Zooming in and out allows us to position our rectangle, which is only one dimension. See, has no height. It's only along our red and green axes at this point, but it allows us to position it so we can best see our block. Now, the next thing we're going to have to do is create a cutout in our block, in our rectangle, because of the shape of our three-dimensional block has a cutout in it, and that cutout will be along this green axis along here. So if we go up to our tape measure tool, there's our tape measure tool there, and click our tape measure tool, and we come back down to this end point, we can click on there and come along this green axis. Now we only want to come along 10, so we come along that green axis so it's on the line, type in 10, and once we hit enter, there will be a guide point 10 millimeters from that end. But click on that guide point, and then we'll go along, so our line is red, so we're parallel to that red axis. We'll type in 20 millimeters and press enter, and that will give us our guide point at 20 millimeters in. Now back to the origin or end point, come up, we'll type in 10. This is exactly the same as the other side. Press enter, click on that guide point again, and go back along the red axis. So we'll drag that back along that red axis and type in 20. We want to make sure that our line is red, because it's parallel with the red one. Type in 20 and press enter. That will give us our guide points for our cutout. So if we go up to our pencil tool, select our pencil tool, clicking on our guide points. If you click once and release, then go to the next guide point, click and release without moving the mouse, move it to the next guide point, click and release again, and then go back to that guide point there, click and release. We have created the shape for our cutout. Now we need to delete a line. In order to delete that line, that section of line, we need to select our erase tool. If we select our erase tool and come down, now we want to make sure we're going to rub out the one line. You'll see there's a small circle at the end of the rubber. We want to make sure that the line we're going to erase sitting inside that small circle, and then click it. We don't need to drag it over it, just click it once and it disappears. And that is the shape of the base for our 3D block. That is the end of this video.